So, as the title probably suggests, I tried taking the JLPT N1 after 1.5 years, and before anyone complains, yes, not exactly 1.5 years, it's 1.5 years and 1 month since I started. And I've been following the Maths MIA method basically since the start, giving 1 week or so. And most of you will probably know, those of you who have seen some of my update videos, what I generally tend to do. But for those who don't know and just found this video randomly, it's basically you only learn, only a small part of your learning is from textbooks and grammar, most of the time in the beginning, and the rest is almost completely reading and watching stuff that you're interested in. And that's what I did most of the time. But to take the JLPT this early, at least for the JLPT N1, I did have to make some changes towards the end. Yeah, so I'll just want to talk shortly about the results. I'll show you what I got, if I passed or not, then what I had to change about the method to prepare for the test, and in the end I'll show you proof that I passed, proof that I started 1.5 years ago, because I think if you do something like that, you have to show at least some proof. It's not perfect, because I don't know how to do that, but it's the best I can do. It's basically, I ordered a book in the beginning before I found maths videos. So yeah, but I will show you in the end. Okay, so I guess I don't want to make this video too long, so we'll get to the results and I will talk about each section a little bit. Okay, so I already looked at my results, and so this works again. So there we are. Yes, I passed. I'm really happy with that. Not perfectly happy, at least not with all of my scores, but I think I have to move this out of the way a little bit. Okay, I think it's better. Good. So as you can see, I passed with 137 out of 180 points. For the first 2 sections, so reading and language knowledge, I'm pretty happy with the result. I'm not as happy with listening. But overall, I have to say, I'm a really bad test taker. Even if there's nothing involved, I get nervous as hell. I took the, what is it called, JCAT, this online Japanese test, I think about 8 months in, and as soon as I clicked the button, my mouth got dry, I started shivering like crazy, despite it not mattering at all. I mean, if I passed on, not pass, you can't pass in this test, but if I get a high score or low score, nobody cares. It was just a test for me to try it out. But like I said, I'm really bad at taking tests. So same in the JLPT, as soon as the test started, or even a few minutes earlier, my mouth got dry, I started shivering, and I really hate taking tests overall. So I'm pretty happy I passed. So I'll just go shortly over each section. So the first section is combination vocabulary and grammar. Vocabulary was for me the easiest part. I don't know how much I got right and wrong, but at least I did 2 example tests, mock tests before the real test, and they were always one of my best sections. The grammar part, the vocab part, the grammar part not so much. And this is the part where I really noticed that I was nervous as hell, because in both of my tests it took me about 20-25 minutes to pass to finish this first 2 sections, the vocabulary and grammar, and this time it took me over 35 minutes. I can't exactly remember, but I think 36, 37, something around this. But I'm still happy. 51 of 60 is fine by me, and as you can see down below, both of them, so vocabulary and grammar, got an A, so that's fine for me. I never expected to get 100. And then reading, also really happy, 50 from 60. That's even better than in the both tests I did. I think I've got 43 ones and 48 or something like that. I'm not too sure. The texts were interesting. The questions are still not easy, especially since most of the time you can exclude 2 of the answers, so you're sure that only 2 might be right, but both of them are, depending on how you read the text and what your interpretation is, you could take both answers. So it's not as easy, but still went pretty well. Then listening part. Yes, this is where I'm a little disappointed, I have to say, because listening is basically most of the time I did listening when I was at home. So when I did, let's say, 5 hours of active immersion a day, about 1 hour was reading, only 1 hour, and 4 hours of listening. So I'm really disappointed. I thought I'd get a higher score, or I hoped I'd get a higher score. But what I noticed after the first 2 hours of concentrating, I was really, really tired. I thought I would fall asleep right then and there, because I also had a bad night before, so I haven't slept as well. And then I really noticed it in the listening section. There were some parts where I just drifted off. But overall, I think I'm fine. I will just continue like as it is, and we'll see how it goes. I just thought maybe this will also improve my listening a little bit, because I already listened quite a lot and I'm familiar with the sound system, not perfectly, but I think I'm fine. And so I try to increase my reading currently. Before I did about an hour a day, and I now try to get on average to about 2 hours or a little bit more. Sometimes some days I read 4 hours or so. So I try to increase this a little bit and to increase my vocabulary and so on, and hope that it will also help me with my listening, at least a little bit. Yeah, okay, I think that's basically enough for this part. As I said, I'm really happy I just passed after 1.5 years from zero, passing JLPT N1, despite hearing so much bad about it. So I'm incredibly stoked. Okay, so I think I'll just briefly talk about what I changed. Not that much, to be honest. Up until November, I took the test on December the 1st, and up until 1st of November I did as usual. I learned 20-25 new words a day through Anki. 1 hour, about an hour, sometimes a little bit more of reading, and 3, 4, 5 hours of active listening, depending how much time I had. But starting 1st of November, I changed some things, and basically what I did, I bought 3 books. For the third, I can't remember the real name, but the first 2 were from the Kanzen Master series, the reading and the grammar book. And what I basically did is I just worked through them. I got a little bit more than half of both, so I wasn't able to finish them in 1 month, but I still got a little bit out of it. Especially the reading part helped, because you get a sense of how the questions are worded and what you have to look out for. I mined some sentences from there, but not too much. And the grammar book also helped a little bit. In the grammar book, they basically summarize, or they categorize some grammar points. You get about, I don't know, 6 or 7 grammar points depending on the section, where they give you a few example sentences, short explanation of what the grammar point means, and then you get 2 pages or so of questions you have to answer, and you can check them. So I just went through it, read each explanation, example sentences, and then tried to complete the questions, and afterwards I just looked up if I did it right or wrong. And sometimes if a sentence contained an unknown word, or there was a completely new grammar point for me, then I made a cut from it. I think overall this one was also really useful, because there are some grammar points in the JLPT N1 that you never see outside, or not never see, but I haven't seen them. There are still some grammar points I haven't seen till this day, so it is useful to go at least through some parts of this book to see if there are grammar points that you don't know. I'm fully convinced if you take your time and you don't really want to pass the JLPT, then it's not necessary to get any books at all. I'm pretty sure if I continued like this and took the test at a 3-year mark or so, I would be able to pass without doing any direct study beforehand. But if you want to pass it as fast as possible, I think it's necessary, at least a little bit, because like I said, there are some grammar points you rarely see outside, and getting a good grasp of them just from exposure is getting harder and harder. Yeah, and the last thing I did, like I said, I can't really remember the name of the book. It's basically only 2 complete JLPT N1 tests, and you can just go through them, including the listening section, and check your points, how much you got. I got in both about between 140 and 150 points or so, pretty much exactly. And oh yeah, what I forgot to say, I finished the first section, so language knowledge and reading section. In the example, in the mock tests I did, I finished with about 20 minutes, 25 minutes left, so pretty fast, I'd say. And then the real test, I had about 10 minutes left, so still fast enough. And despite not skipping anything in the reading section, because I looked at some articles beforehand, and a lot of them recommended that in the reading section, since you don't have enough time, just read the first paragraph, the last, and then some stuff in between, whatever. But I really hate that, and I can't concentrate most of the time. It doesn't really work, or at least I don't think it will work for me, so I didn't do it. And in the end, I just read it completely, so I'm still happy I was able to finish with 10 minutes left, or in the example tests with about 20 minutes left, despite reading everything from start to finish. So this went really well. And this also helped me to get a little bit of confidence, or rather lack thereof, because after both of those tests, I still felt insecure. Not insecure in general, before I looked up my results. So I finished the example tests and thought, wow, this was bad. I don't think I have a good result. And in the end, I still got 150 points, 140 points, around there. So it still worked out. And it's the same with the real test. Afterwards, I thought, oh shit, this was so bad. At least the listening part in the end felt bad. But as you see, I still passed, so it still worked out. I'm happy about that. Okay, so I think that's enough. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, I thought I'd want to say in the beginning, but oh well. Yes, I know the JLPT N1 is not the best measure of your language ability, since it only tests your understanding and not speaking and stuff like that. And it's a multiple choice test in the end, so you can guess sometimes. But I set it as my goal in the beginning. Not in the beginning, I set it as my goal a few months later, so basically as soon as I started recording all my stuff, as I showed you in my update videos, as I still do, I still write down how much I do each day for reading, listening, and so on, how much cards I create and whatnot. I mean, you have seen it, my long Excel sheet. Yeah, but I set it as my goal, and I like certificates, so just for me. I still know that there's a lot I have to learn. I still don't really want to speak that much. I think I can form quite a few sentences now, but I still want to wait, and I have no reason to start talking now, so at least till the 2-year mark I'll wait. Yeah, I think that's it. So I will show you my proof, however you want to call it. It's basically I thought I'll show you in Amazon directly, because I ordered this book there, but I had to make a screenshot because there are a lot of personal information. So basically this is it. This is the book I ordered. I can show you, I have it here in front of me. That's this one. I ordered it on the 16th of April, so this is in German, so don't worry, of April, and I got it few days later, I think 2021. I used this book for about 1.5 weeks, 2 weeks or so, before I found Matt's channel. But in this time I wasn't really as strict, so I used it about, I think, 4 times or so. I got through about 20%, I'd say, 20-30% of the book, so not as much. And like I said, I only did 4 sessions, about 2 hours each or so. And then I found Matt's videos and decided that's what I want to do, and I started. So around, I'm not exactly sure since I didn't set a timer, I started around 1st of May, I'd say. Maybe a few days later, maybe a few days earlier. So all in all, from there till then, 1.5 years and 1 month. So I'm incredibly happy that I passed this, and yeah, that's all I want to say today. Like I said, I don't want to make this video too long. So next time I will make a video, will probably be at the 2-year mark. Not my speaking video first, but probably just a normal update video and a speaking video a week or 2 later. I don't know, I will see how I'll do it. So that's it.